Hey YouTube, it is Soul Prime 13 again with another Transformers video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Wreck and Doom Collection Sandstorm and Slugslinger 2-pack. So we'll take a quick look here at the box. Get these guys out of the way so I have a little more room. Here we got Sandstorm and Slugslinger sort of duking it out. And honestly, with the way this art looks, these nose cones on Slugslinger make him look like a cone head. So, you have to accept that now too. And here we got more of that same artwork on the top. On the side we got Slugslinger. On this side we got Sandstorm. On this side we got Legal Jargon. And then here we just have our product shots. So, there is that for the packaging. As far as our instructions, I forgot to put it at the top of the pile. I know I got it here. Give me a sec, give me a sec. Everything is okay. We're experiencing technical difficulties. There it is. It is a dual instruction sheet, so they are both on the same panel of papers. So we got all that. So there's that. And honestly, I really only wanted Slugslinger from this 2-pack because I already had the original Sandstorm release. I did actually look and see about buying Slugslinger by himself on eBay, but it was like a $20 difference between Slugslinger and just the 2-pack itself. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy the 2-pack. Not sure if I'm going to hold on to this Sandstorm or not, because again, I actually prefer faceplated robot looks. That's kind of my jam. But yeah, there's not really too much difference between this Sandstorm and the original. I'll go ahead and bring him in right now, because quite literally the only difference is they have no more gray plastic pieces, as you can see here by the gun and the hands. They've replaced it with just black plastic. The face, he has a face plate, and then there are some slight differences in colors. It's not major, it's pretty minor actually. Yeah, just slightly brighter. This one has slightly brighter hues and a few brighter pieces, like this crotch plate. You can see that this one's a bright orange and this one is a matching orange with the hip pieces. That's really the only difference. There's no molding differences. For anyone asking, they did not fix the short peg issue in his chest. That is still very much a problem, unfortunately. So if you're hoping to get this guy for like the figure being better, it's not. It is almost exactly the same. It's just slightly different colors and a different face sculpt. That is the only difference whatsoever. So there's that. Get him out of the way. And when I say they got rid of the gray, same with the basket on the back. So just making sure I cover my bases there. As for Slugslinger, I do not have the original, which is why I wanted this 2-pack. From what I understand, he is much darker in color though. But overall, I do like this figure. He does have a cool jet mode. He has one of the Titans Return / Headmaster molds. So his head does come off. Got a hair in my mouth. Yeah. But overall, I do dig this figure. And originally I was just going to show this guy off and do a comparison of Sandstorm, but I just checked before doing this video, and I didn't actually review the original Sandstorm, so we're going to do a full-blown review. But we are going to start with Slugslinger here. So first of all, he does come with these 2 gun accessories here. This one is like sort of a double barrel square gun, and this one is just a big barreled gun. But you can actually combine them. You take this peg here, put it into this hole here, and now you have a super duper gun, which you can still hold. I mean, it's just the same pegs. Do not believe these are blast compatible. I think this was before they really started doing that. Yeah, it's before they really started doing that, so no blast effects on this one. As far as articulation goes, you do get some up and down, or rather some hinge movement on the wing, I should say. Titan's head, get plenty of wiggly waggly, maybe even a little bit too much. He has apparently what people call the Trigger Happy shoulders, which I believe is based off a character called Trigger Happy. I don't know too much about that figure, but does come all the way up. This is on a swivel, and as long as you watch for the wings, you can get full 360. This seems to pop out quite a bit. Do have a bicep rotation. We do have a little over 90 at the elbow, and for what it's worth, there's some wiggle at the wrist due to transformation. Let's see, we do have a waist swivel. Can't quite get all the way just because of the collision with the wings. Do have ball jointed hips. Bicep swivel. Can kick that far forward. Can kick all the way back. Can detach his pelvis by accident. We do get a full knee bend, partially due to transformation. No ankle. He does have the slanted sculpted feet, but you can kind of get up and down at the feet due to the transformation joint in those. So there is some movement there. And I do believe that's it for articulation on Slugslinger. So yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about the articulation on Sandstorm. So you do get up and down at the shoulders, the too much backpack for a full 360, but can come out. You do get a elbow, lower bicep swivel. Do actually technically have double jointed elbows. There is some collision, so you don't get a full bend, but you do get well over 90. So there's that. I think there's wrist swivel. Yes, there is. It's just very stiff on mine, but you do get a wrist swivel. And as you can see, that is just got to keep happening. With the there is some waist, lots of collision due to backpack though. Can kick that far forward. Do get 90 at the knee. You do get some up and down at the toe, and you do get your ankle movement. Head is on a ball joint, but it is kind of tucked in there, so you don't get a ton of movement there. As far as his accessories, we do get the rescue cage on the, does actually come on a string, same as before, and you can extend this. So there is that. Make sure I roll this the right way. There we go. And this is just on two different 5mm pegs, so you can just plug this in wherever or however you want. The way it actually comes packaged is it's sort of just wrapped around and plugged in at the top or the bottom, but there's that. You do get a small gun, and again, these are all just like 5mm ports, so they can plug into the ports on his sides and on his hands. So there's that. And then you do get a larger blaster as well, and these ones are in fact blast compatible, because the Sandstorm mold came out within like the last year or so. He is a little back heavy because he's wearing like half of a helicopter on his back, but you do get your Daka action. And again, that chest like really should have been fixed. That's part of the reason I didn't want a second one. I would have been fine with a second one if it weren't for the fact that they didn't fix anything. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take these off. And we will do a couple of quick comparisons here. Get Slugslinger back over here. So here we have next to Deluxe Cybertron Hotshot. It's a little taller than Slugslinger. Yeah, and it is Deluxe and Leader class, just to clarify that. Come on, I gotta have somebody else's robot mode nearby. Well, this is the only one I have within arm's reach, so here they are next to Commander Jetfire. Just because I want to do at least more than one comparison. I actually have lots of vehicles right now, but not many robots. Anywho, so we're gonna put Sandstorm off to the side again, and we are gonna transform Slugslinger. So the first thing we want to do is pull a Megatron and rip his head off. Or is that that's more of a Scorponok thing, isn't it? So we're going to pull a Scorponok and rip his head off. And then we are going to take the dude's little legs and fold them out. And bring them down. And now you have his head in robot mode. And what was the name of the little head dude again? I usually don't keep track of the names of the heads. Caliburst. Yeah, Caliburst. Yeah. And typical Titan headmaster. So, yeah. Anyway, we are going to move him into a sitting position now and set him down. Then we are going to come here to the double cockpits, and we're just going to untab those from the back, and those are sort of on double hinges. So we're just going to elevate that a little bit. Going to come here to the shoulders and bring these down to the side. Going to flip in these fists, and then we are going to bring this pelvis down like so, and then we're going to fold the feet together. Actually, I'm trying to remember, I don't think we actually do fold the feet together. I think we actually fold them in like this. We'll see in a minute. But we do want to fold the legs over inside of themselves a bit here. And we are gonna want to tab the legs together. Yeah, we got to straighten the wings out and get out of the way. I think, is that the line? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you want to fold the feet all the way forward and then bring the legs over and then tab them together, and they'll sort of lock into place. Then for the arms, keep in mind that there is this big tab here, because the arm is going to come down on that hinge. There's a tab right here. Yeah, right there. And that's going to go right here on the wing behind the thruster, and then this big tab is going to go into the leg. So we get that here. Line it up, get that into the wing, and then that's going to go right here into the leg. Then we're going to rinse and repeat. Bring that together. Bring this into the leg here. Then we are going to bring the cockpits down the rest of the way, like so, and there we have him in his jet mode. And then we can also open, if I remember which side this opens from. It's kind of got a weird seam to it. There we go. It's kind of weird. There we go. And then we just want to take him in the sitting position and stick him in that cockpit. Close that up. Make sure he's squished all the way down. There we go. You don't actually have to move these cockpits. It was just easier to get a grip on it for me. And then we can take these guns, and we want to separate them, and you can plug them into these ports underneath the wings. And there we have Slugslinger in his vehicle mode. And I do dig it. It's pretty cool. I do like the double cockpit thing. He does have some, I do think these are actually painted, but they're basically done in the design of like stickers. He's got some here and here. He does also have like a little on his arms there. It does look very nice. I really do like. Oh, and then there's some on his upper chest too. But I do believe these are actually painted. I don't think they're actual stickers. I think they're painted, which is cool because like paint lasts like a bit better, and they still look very, very nice. But yeah, really do dig this jet mode. And I do have some good comparisons for this one, because here we have a generic seeker. So there is that. And we'll put him off to the side for now and move back to Sandstorm. So for Sandstorm, we want to start by transforming him into a Doom Buggy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here and we want to open up his arms by bringing this tab open, folding in the fist. Then we're going to take these double hinges here for the elbow, compress that so that these two pins are lined up, and then we close it up again. Going to do the same on the other arm. Fold this in, compress, close it back up, and then we can bring this chest that has already unpegged itself down a bit, and then we want to, I believe, sort of extend the set of hinges here that his head is on. And what we're going to do is we want to sort of bring his head back and kind of hide it under here, underneath this black piece, and then we're going to close that back up, like so. Then, what we're going to do is we are going to close up these feet, like so, and bring them down. We are going to take the legs and compress them, and you can see the sliders here in the back. So we're just going to push them up, tab these legs together, and then I think we leave the wheels more or less like that. And then for the chest piece, we are going to come here. We want to bring this orange piece all the way out. We want to bring it forward, and there are two little orange tabs here, and they're going to tab into his kneecaps, like so. Bring that together. Then we are going to come here to the shoulders and pull it back and untab these side panels, and there's a way that these line up and tab in, which I do believe we got. See, I believe we rotate them this way. It's been a little while since I've done this. Actually, can't remember. Oh, yeah, so we do want to fold these panels forward, and then this little rectangle peg, or tab, is going to go into the back of that panel, and it is actually facing this way. So we want to make sure that this is also facing this way, and plug it in like so. I'm going to rinse and repeat, like so. And then I think, nope, just accidentally untabbed all that. Fold this panel up, and I don't think there's any way to bring these down anymore, because this has always been kind of weird to me, the way it kind of sits at a weird angle, and I don't think there's really anything else to do about that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that has to be like that. Yeah, it's as good as it's gonna get. Then we want to come here to the cage, and we are going to just pull the top piece off, and we are actually going to plug this in over here, and there are a couple different connection points. There's one here and here where these little crescents are in the black piece. I do believe there's another spot they plug in, but I don't remember exactly where. I do believe that it has to face a certain way. Yeah, so if you actually look, it's kind of hard to tell, but these two, which here, are actually slightly further in, and those are the ones that slide into those slots. and that creates sort of the roll cage there. And then what we can do, just take this string piece and put it up here because there's not really a perfect place for this to go. But then we take this piece, and that hole is going to tab over this piece here where the legs come together and form a peg. And I do think there is a little place for the tabs. I think it goes this way because there are these little tabs here on the side, and there's like a little slot right here, so I'm pretty sure that's how that's supposed to fit. Right there. Yep, just like that. Just like that. And yeah, it doesn't quite. Oh, apparently I have that not lined up properly, and I think I just moved it into place. But yes, I did. And now he will roll properly. But yeah, this is his dune buggy mode, and again with the guns you can just kind of plug them in into various places. There's a few plugs like where his arms are, and then you can plug, there's like one there, and of course there's this one here. I do think you can rotate these around. I'm gonna see real fast. Come on. I think you can have these post holes on the top. I'm not 100% sure about that though. No, you cannot, because they don't line up anymore. But yeah, there are a few places you can tab the guns in. I know that this one will fit underneath the little one. I could have sworn there was a way to put the big one under there too. I think with like the maybe it was this way. I'm almost positive there's like a way to fit this in here. But anyway, you get the idea. Was it like this? I don't remember. But yeah, you can plug the guns in. There are places to plug the guns in. As for a size comparison here we have with B127 for a car, and I do have IDW Prime, who despite being a smaller size class at a Voyager is actually bigger, although this is a Voyager Plus because it's a triple changer. But anyway, next we will move on to transforming him into his helicopter mode. So to get him into helicopter mode, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this cage piece back off. Come on. Kind of have to get your thumb in there and pry it off. And take this little gun back off. And we're going to come under here and remove this panel. Just kind of wiggle that out. There we go. Now, first thing, we want to close up this little spoiler here. And this does come packaged separately in the box. It just pegs in. So, whoop, as it, hey, I actually caught that. That was pretty cool. There we go. So, again, we're going to have to sort of do some weird stuff with the head here. Let's go ahead and untab these arms, just to get this whole chest piece loose. And we're going to open this up, and it's sort of weird. A lot of times I have trouble remembering exactly what to do, because you sort of have to like get the head in there and then like angle this whole thing in like a weird way, and I always forget the proper way to do it. But I know there's like some weird trick to it. Yeah, I think it's like that. You compress it so that he's angled forward, I believe. But anywho, bring this whole thing up on these double hinges, and I do believe you got to fold this chest piece in. I can get this all up and over and around and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to. Why? Not supposed to hold that in. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Anyway, we will come back to that. We also want to come here and sort of untab these wheel pieces. Want to bring these forward. There we go. Come on, let go. There we go. Then we are going to take these pieces up here. We are going to rotate them 180, like so. Rotate them 180. Get that out of the way, like so. Yeah, okay, now it's starting to come back to me. Yeah, there's like a weird way you gotta compress this because you gotta get the wheels to fit. And that's why it's always kind of awkward. I'm trying to remember how to do it. And I'm not remembering how to do it. There is, again, like a very particular way you're supposed to do it. And like even when I was messing with the original pretty often, I always drew a blank on this part. I'm trying to remember. Oh, there. There we go. Got to extra compress it into there. Now it'll all close up like that. And this isn't tapping together for some reason. Anyway, then this part. Okay. Okay, we'll worry about the arms in a sec. Because. Actually, we're going to worry about those now because I'm pretty sure I just missed a step. But I know I need to fold these pieces down, fold these pieces down. I'm pretty sure there's like something I'm missing here. These out of the line. Okay, bring this back together. Because yeah, those need to be there. Now we'll worry about the arms in a minute. But anywho, we do want to bring these pieces out to the side. I think we fold. Yeah, we fold these panels back out, and then we are actually going to untab these wheels and bring them up because they're on these hinges. We're going to fold these in. And the wheels are also on a swivel, and I don't think either of them tab in a specific place as far as the actual wheel goes. You just kind of gotta zigzag them together a certain way. So bring this out. We're gonna fold this in, and just sort of bring this together, sort of like this. Just kind of got those wheels there. Sort of in between each other. Then we are going to take this piece and we're going to fold it down, and we want to unhook these propeller blades, and we are actually going to rotate them around and then fold this whole bit over, and we can bring these back. And then we're going to come here to these two panels and we're going to fold them in like so, and that's going to cover this up. Actually, before we do that, we want to fold this piece through. Then we want to do that, and then we want to straighten this out because it's on a double hinge, and tab all of this together. And then as far as the arms go, I do believe, yes, and we just take this tab here, and there's a slot right here. Tab that in, And then we can take those helicopter blades and just sort of spread them out into an X formation. And there we have him in his rescue helicopter mode, which I actually really dig this mode. So probably going to keep the extra one in this mode until I decide whether or not I'm going to sell it. But as far as this goes, we also can plug some huge friggin' guns onto our rescue helicopter. He's rescuing you from yourselves. So there is that. And then if we want to bring this whole bit back in, we just reattach the bottom, which there are just 4 holes to go onto these posts. And there is actually the chest piece port right here. As it likes to fight with me. Come on. Oh. There we go. Jeez. And this really isn't tabbing together that well. And there, now you can lower the little thingy, little cage. But there's that. And now that they're both in an aerial mode, we'll compare them again. Helicopter versus a jet. And we'll also bring back our generic seeker. So we get a little group shot there. But yeah, overall, if you don't have the Sandstorm already, this is definitely a good buy. If you don't have either of the figures, it's a really, really good buy. But if you do have the Sandstorm, I can't really say that I think it's necessarily worth it. Just because, like, he's the bulkier half of the overall pack and more than half of the price. So, it's kind of hard to justify getting a second one, especially considering they didn't really fix any of the withstanding issues. Mainly that chest peg just does not hold any better than before, which really sucks, because otherwise it is a solid triple changer. I do like the figure, and I would like to get more Sandstorm figures. Again, I really do like this helicopter mode. I do like that it's more of a chubby rescue helicopter rather than like a stylized attack copter or something. So I do still enjoy the figure. I just don't really feel like I needed a second one. Slugslinger is really cool. I'm happy to have him in my collection now. I really do dig the double cockpit jet design that they went with. I do like the dark colors. I do like these stickers / paint decals, whichever one they are. And overall, I do think it's a fun figure as well. So yeah, like, if you don't have either of the figures, I would 100% recommend, because even with his issues, I do still like Sandstorm a lot. It's definitely not perfect. Again, he does have some serious issues, especially with his chest. If you don't have Slugslinger, but you do have Sandstorm, it's kind of hard to justify that price, because again, it's like a $75 something pack, I think, US. And, it's a 25 and a 55. So, most of the price is going towards this guy. But like I said, I tried to see if I could buy this guy himself, and it was basically the price of Sandstorm on his own. So I might as well have gotten the 2-pack. But if, you're missing Sandstorm or you're missing both, definitely pick it up. Maybe you will have some better luck finding Slugslinger if that's just the one you're looking for. I don't know. It kind of depends on what you need from the pack versus, like, if you need all of it or only part of it. But I do still think these are both good figures. Slugslinger is great. Sandstorm is pretty good. Definitely could be better if they fix that, but I still like him. So I think that is about all I have to say on this particular review. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this review up. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.